start the episode with a grind across the.
Nice. Okay.
Jesus
Yep.
Christ.
Yep. Whoa, I like the little
Gnarly.
wheel. Nice.
Nice. There you
Tony
go.
Hawk is dead. That's
Hey,
great.
and
Welcome back to the Works Every Time podcast. I'm your host, Justin Essemacher. Alongside me with some of my best friends who are named
Marcus Olin.
And Philip Garcia. And this episode's brought to you by TEJAS TONIC. Use code WETPOD, WETPOD, for 15% off.
At TejasTonic.com. That's TEJASTONIC.com. They got seltzers and gummies.
Woo-wee.
WETPOD, 15% off. That's taxes and then some.
And then some.
And then some.
And make sure you check out the Sunset Strip. You might see us on some of their shows. They got shows 6 days a week, Tuesday through Sunday. So make sure you check some of those out. What are some of our upcoming shows, Phil?
April 4th. Well, this would already happen by then. I'm headlining. A big fucking deal. Justin, what do you got?
April 11th, you can see me at the Green Room featuring For Some Comic that I do know.
Yeah.
Totally be there. It's going to be a fun time. Marcus, what do you got?
April 26th, which is not a Wednesday, but it's April 26th. It's Saturday. Come check me out at Mama Merlot's Speakeasy. And then we got the Wet Live show May 30th, Friday. Whoa. Check it out. We're going to be at the Sunset Strip. That's going to be brought to you by Tejas Tonic. So that's going to be a fun time.
Hell
Make sure
yeah.
you check
Hell
that
yeah.
out. 7:30 show. Ticket link's going to be up very soon for that.
Oh, sorry. I saw the I was resetting because of the
Yeah.
Then Friday and Saturday, June 20th to the 21st, I'll be in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Not going to say where, but you can find me. Send me a
You'll be there.
message, and I'll let you know where I'll happen to be. We're not putting my name on the flyer.
And then
for
we're going to have
various
another Wet
reasons.
Live in Fort Worth, your hometown
Woo-woo!
at Hyenas. That's going to be Saturday, July 26th. So some fun stuff coming out. Make sure you check out the Instagram. That's at wet.podcast.
Yes. Dude, let's sell out the Fort Worth one because then we can get to the bigger room,
Yeah.
right?
Let's sell all of them out.
That's true. That's
Let's
true.
sell out. Let's sell out.
Let's do Bass Hall.
Tejas Tonic.
Where's Bass Hall?
Look up Bass Hall, JJ.
Bass Hall.
I don't think it's pronounced Bass Hall.
Do we got to bring fishing poles?
Bass Hall in Fort Worth. There it is.
Wow. One day.
Wow,
Okay,
yeah, let's
we can
go
put it on the
there.
goal list. We can put that on the goal
Look
list.
at the outside with the angels.
All right, y'all. We might have to change
Isn't
venues.
that cool?
We're going to be barking
So,
in front of that.
Here's a weird thing about the Bass family. They own like all of like Fort Worth, pretty much like a
Whoa.
good portion of it.
Mm.
Apparently, there's like they're pretty. There's like family drama, and it always becomes public expose. It's
Wow.
Whoa.
a pretty weird little aspect of Fort Worth.
Man.
Nice.
I forgot what happened recently. I think some like one of the women in the family like fucked a sergeant, or who knows.
Nice.
You can Google it.
I feel like
Fuck the sergeant?
every town has one of those families, you know?
Yeah, they all think that they're like everybody wants to be that family, while that family's the most effed up
Are
family.
the Fords in Detroit just like
Oh, they're the worst.
Vanderbilts?
Yeah,
Well,
except they're still around.
Yeah. The Fords are.
Yeah.
Ford
Interesting.
owns like all the land. Once you get into the city of Dearborn, which is like major Ford, dude, it's all it's like Ford roads, Ford buildings, Ford
Yeah.
everything. It's
I grew
all
up
of the land.
down the street from Ford Road, Henry Ford Medical Center. That's the
Yeah.
hospital.
Yes, it is.
You know,
I think
the
I was
stadium.
born. I was
yeah,
born
he was
there.
born at Henry Ford Hospital.
I was.
You were-
Ford Field.
You were
that's-
brought off the production line.
yeah. So they
Straight
made it.
up.
Ford Hospital.
Why do you think he's breaking down so early?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Found on road dead.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, dude.
There's Justin for you.
Yeah, dude.
But no, it's Ford everywhere, which is hilarious because he was a big fan of Hitler.
You know, it sounds like a logistical nightmare to be like, take me to Ford,
Ford
something,
Road?
and then they're just like, we're here, we're never left.
Yeah, dude,
Mhm.
it's wild. The Ford, also the Ford, the what is it? The mansion. The what's the Henry Ford's wife? Not Henry Ford's wife. Is it the wife? They have the mansion by Belle Isle. It's not Belle Isle.
Ford Mansion.
It's the Ford Mansion.
I've never heard of the
It's
Ford
in.
Mansion.
It's by Dearborn. I'm blanking right now.
No one ever
Oh, it's in
asked-
Grosse Point, Michigan.
No one
What's
ever,
it called? It's
Ford House.
Ford House. Eleanor Roosevelt. Yeah, that thing is beautiful.
No one
That's
ever-
nice.
Not Eleanor Roosevelt.
How are the Chevys doing?
Edsel and Eleanor Ford.
They're out there, man.
The Chevys are there.
And that
They don't
house is
make 'em
still
there,
there.
but
It's
yeah.
gated. You can drive by. It's a very pretty area. That whole area of Michigan right there. That's where the rich
Well,
live.
it's crazy. So Grosse Point is directly borders Detroit, and Grosse Point is one of like the richest suburbs in the
It
country.
is.
And then you'll drive from this rich ass area, and immediately when you cross into Detroit, you go to the east side of Detroit, and you just see abject poverty, and you're like, wow,
Yeah.
That is inequality.
It's
Just
almost
visual.
like
It
it was
is.
all siphoned to one spot.
Yeah, it's almost like it was
That
on
person's
purpose.
You know what
house.
happens? And so I used to actually live in Grosse Pointe Woods with my brother.
Okay, show off.
I know. So, well, what it was, they used to have a farmer's market. The thing you're talking about, they used to have a farmer's market in Grosse Pointe.
Billionaire's Market.
Yes, basically. It's where the rich people got their vegetables on the streets of Grosse Pointe next to Detroit. But the farmer's market actually built a wall. It was on the news. They built like a fake wall to divide Grosse Pointe and Detroit. And once you would cross that border, dude, it was just like dark and gray, just burnt down houses, like he said. But they literally, and it was all bright and shiny on this side with all the goods at the farmer market.
And that's how I imagine it is crossing into Mexico, honestly. I've never been to Mexico, so I don't know.
Build
I'm a little
that wall.
ignorant.
Build that wall.
Ignorante, but you know, I don't know how you say ignorant in Spanish. Let's do it. Phil,
Yes.
how are you now that you're famous again for the third time? I think it is.
Yeah.
This
is
famous third time he
again.
got
Just keeps
famous.
rolling
Back in the fame,
Wow,
baby.
Hollywood Phil returned. The return of Hollywood Phil.
I'm not going to be satisfied until they take 20% off my groceries at HEB. That's
Do
when
they
I'll-
do that for famous people?
No, but I'll figure it out.
How are you
If
gonna
Bud Light-
negotiate
if
that?
Gillis gets free Bud Light his entire
tomorrow.
life, I'm going to figure out how to get a discount at a grocery store.
Wow.
I can't believe we're doing
I
this right
haven't
now.
got to
I
see
haven't
it.
even watched it.
Oh no.
Don't lie.
Phil, let's watch your set.
I watched it with y'all at Shakespeare's that night.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we
With
were at
no
Kill
audio.
Tony for the.
Let's watch your set, Phil.
What's up? I think it went good. I think my minute was really well. My interview was like a little like lackluster, but it's also like my 9th time on the show. So
Brag.
anytime I get back up there, it's kind of just being like, "Hey, what have you been up to?" And like when we first moved down here, my life was kind of interesting. I was like doing pest
Yeah.
control and doing some wild, but now it's just like, I've been doing this, man. Been trying to impress you guys.
Yeah. Well, let's roll the
And
tape.
then you get there and then you realize nothing I've done is really that impressive now that we're here talking about it, huh?
Yeah.
And then but it's they were nonetheless they let me plug my stuff and showed some love and then
Yeah. Well, good thing we got a whole podcast to talk about how unimpressive our lives
I know,
are.
right?
Got an hour
Yeah, good thing we have a platform to do that every week.
every week.
We know this
Mondays.
young man. He's lived in Austin for a while.
Wow.
Make some noise
cool.
for a new minute from Philip Garcia, everybody.
Philip
Here comes
Garcia.
Philip
Oh, boy.
Garcia.
I didn't realize I got introduced like that.
Wow, you're
Or
wearing
how-
the same shit. No, you're
Or how
not.
fat I looked.
Thank y'all. I've been crushing up Plan B and putting it in my girlfriend's eggs every morning.
So I had to like call an audible because I didn't realize.
Cosby.
Yeah.
She's Latina, so it's a must. She's Catholic, so I have to sneak it in somehow. Yeah. If you really want to think about it, it's like an abortion inside of an abortion, which is even crazier.
Leaving the mic in the mic scene. Nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
For a good time, not a long time.
Love break.
Also, it's like a $72 egg at this point. You know what I'm saying? We're in love though. We're shitting with the door open, which is great. I know. Yeah, it's good. That's a good place to be. The other day she got really scared though. I think she paid attention for the
Looks
first
like
time.
your
She
shirt
walked
says
by and she
rap
went,
booking.
"Oh,
Yeah.
when guys shit, their dick and balls go inside the toilet bowl with it."
It was closed with my
And I
clothes.
was like, "Yeah, that's crazy. You put your mouth on that thing." She was like, "It's in the
Good
water
timing.
and everything," and I was like, "Sadly, we don't have that problem. Thank you for pointing that out there." All right, guys. Thank you so much. I'm Philip Garcia.
Wow.
Philip Garcia.
Trust you, dude.
I am a little confused. Why would she say that the dick
and then
and
I
balls
then I
go
had
in
to
the water?
explain my bit. See, I laughed 'cause I was
blessed
like-
enough, they would probably get.
Yeah.
So you laughing because you don't also don't touch the water? I was like, what's
Yeah.
the issue here?
I don't know whose dick and balls really. I mean, are you shitting with a boner? Who's fucking dick
Well, if
and
you're shitting
balls?
with the boner,
If you're hung
it's
like a
gonna go up.
horse, I'd imagine you might have to
Yes.
tuck that
And-
shit up on the toilet seat.
and you'd have to have a shower, not a grower.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know anyone with a 10-inch grower, but I don't know.
I
that
mean,
don't
much.
know
how much
anyone with a
blood do
toilet.
you have in your body?
Yeah.
That's a. You're like an elephant trunk down in the toilet.
That's what I'm saying. It's just hanging out down there. And then
No,
she,
dude, my balls are
Am
gonna
I
hit that water
explaining the bit
before my
again?
dick does.
That's what I say, yeah.
Also, if your dick and balls are hitting the water, you might need a plunger. You know what I'm saying? Why is the water so high?
Exactly.
I like when the water's real low, like when
Yeah.
there's something wrong with the toilet, you know?
Yeah,
No.
this, mine aren't touching the water. That's the bit.
Also, for him to just like take your bit and just be like, so explain it. It's like it just kind
Oh, it's
of.
Genevieve. You think
Oh,
Justin
man.
washes his hands after he wipes? I don't ask because he's in the restroom. I ask because I'm about to take a Zen out of his thing, and I don't,
You don't wash your hands.
Yeah, I do. You think I don't pay taxes? You think I don't wash my hands? That's crazy.
I've seen you not wash your hands.
I do wash
and-
my hands. Here we go. At sunset, if I'm going in for a quick pee and I'm not working server, or if I'm working a food handler's position, I will wash my hands up, absolutely. But if I'm working door, my dick is cleaner than everything in that restroom, and I know that for a fact. I could full grip my hog with my whole hand, and my hand would still be cleaner if I grabbed that handle for the restroom and opened it. I will use a napkin to open the door for the restroom. Yeah, duh, right? You dry your hands with it, use it to open the door, and you run the fuck out real quick. No, I think honestly touching anything in that restroom is dirtier than my hog, because I know where that's been.
What I do, I walk in the restroom, I karate kick the flusher
Yeah.
just to flush it once.
So you're the reason everything is a geyser.
No.
Whenever you flush it, it just goes.
No.
Oh my. Go on. Oh,
Sorry, go ahead, yeah.
Go on. Finish.
I do it finessely.
Oh, you got the
You
light.
do.
I'm Lionel Messi. I'm
It's
like,
all on the ankle.
Yeah, I've seen that. I do that too. At the
So
stall, I
I'll
go
do
into the
that.
stall.
Yeah.
I always go into the stall because I got a shy bladder. Also, I want some privacy. It's just like I never understood that as a man. Like, oh, you're not gonna piss next to me at the urinal? What are you, gay? And it's like I just don't want you looking at my wiener, dude.
No.
it's
My
weird.
thing is
just-
I don't want you pissing on my foot.
well, that too. I never thought of that.
I use the secret back restroom.
I do that too sometimes.
I have a good
Can you
poop-
wash your hands in that one?
Dude, I do mouthwash, re-cologne,
Yeah, I do-
shower.
Honestly,
What are you talking about? That restroom's
I'm asking
rips.
questions.
that bathroom is nice. It's very private. You know, you can.
I've had some of the craziest dumps of my life, including blood, in that restroom.
Yeah, that's because
All right, welcome.
that's because the demons coming out of your body because there's literally haunted.
There's
That place
haunted
is
back there.
haunted.
They're
The demons
channeling.
going through you.
They channel
It's
your
chan-
colon. And you just it's like the elevator from The Shining.
I've been having great poops on this diet.
Well, yeah, because you're eating
Incredible.
clean.
What are they
I
looking
miss
like?
eating
Smooth
clean.
on the sides?
Yeah, smooth, chunks of asparagus, but you can't do anything about them eating asparagus.
That's good. They're scrubbing. They're like
Yeah.
little.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, dude.
Yeah, dude, I'll be honest.
It's like
I
having a
think
little Mexican lady in my colon.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Sí, señor.
no ground beef here.
No ground
no
beef
ground
here.
beef. It's so clean.
It's so clean.
Sorry.
Oh my, Mr. Marquis, clean your asshole now.
That was Asian.
That was Asian.
That was crazy.
That was super Asian.
No. That's
my
totally,
asshole's not that clean.
No,
It's not Asian.
Oh, you weren't getting a pedicure.
I don't
up
know
there?
what's more racist, the fact that he's doing the voice or the fact that he's like, they all sound the same.
Mm.
What are you talking about? That's just some little old Mexican lady. Didn't sound like it.
No.
Where
Oh,
from? Thailand?
Mr. Marquis.
Okay, that's better.
That's
You're better.
closer.
Getting
Have
better.
Have you guys ever seen the scene in Mr. D's? One of my favorite scenes when he goes and he's talking about his uncle, getting pregnant, getting the girl pregnant, and it was his housekeeper, and she's like, "Hello, Mr. What's his name? Can I clean the leaves off your ficus plant?"
That's a really cool part of that movie.
I love that plant.
Don't remember that scene.
I
I've only
fucked
seen,
up
I remember the scene where
I'm
there's
being sarcastic.
Hawaiian punch in the drinking fountain or
That's a
whatever.
cool part of that movie.
That's my favorite part. That I think I stopped paying attention after that and just only thought about
What are you talking about?
a drinking fountain that shot like anything
I
sweet
love
out.
when Steve Buscemi shows his foot. And
Yes.
It's like, or is
Oh,
that,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
Rob Schneider's part,
no,
right?
it's
No, it's
Buscemi.
Adam Sandler.
Oh, it's Adam Sandler.
Adam
What is
Sandler
it?
Adam
shows foot, and he's
Sandler.
like,
Oh my
with the-
God.
he goes, you want to see my foot? And it looks like this. It's actually a black foot. And he's like, go ahead and whack it. Whack it.
We
And then he
gotta-
stabs it and he's like, oh my God, you're sick. You're sick.
I'm gonna have to rewatch Mr. Deeds.
Mr.
tonight.
Deej is great. Also, you were talking about the bathroom though, so that got a side tangent.
Sorry.
The geyser, dude. I shouldn't talk about that. I shouldn't talk about it.
You know what's crazy to me? Every toilet that's ever broken at Sunset, I don't use those toilets.
Yeah, I don't.
The two that have broken recently, I've never
Should
ever
we talk
used
about
those.
this?
No, I'm just. This is an aside. Yeah, sorry. Austin
Spotty
toilets.
humor too.
Rule number
Can I
7:
get it out
no
of my head?
Austin toilets.
Can I get it out of my head? You want to cut it? I was in the stall before a show happened, and the right stall, the guy hit the flusher, and the whole thing went, and it looked like somebody took like a whole gallon of like a 5-gallon bucket of water and threw it on the wall, and he was just like, "What the
I think
fuck?"
I remember this because I was working the front door.
And then I.
And this guy comes up to management and is like, hey. Like he's just seen shit. Like, I don't know who to tell others, but this dude, like, the toilet in the men's room just shot like 5 gallons of water all over the restroom. And immediately they're like, okay, we'll go check that out. And then sure enough, there's like, yeah, it's pretty like
I was there. I
an
told,
inch of standing
dude, I
water.
told Yonder. I came out of the bathroom. I go, Yonder, I think the toilet's broke.
No, for
and
a
he
week.
goes, he looked at me and he goes, it does it all the time. I'm like, no, Yonder,
No.
it doesn't do this all the time. So
Yeah.
it threw a whole gale like water across the
Y'all
wall.
don't remember this? For a week, it smelled like the men's bathroom had like a pussy shit in it. It was crazy.
Oh, yeah, pussy shit. I go in the girls' bathroom. It's
Dude,
really nice.
What's crazy to me is like sometimes there will be a show and like literally right when the show starts, I'll go take a piss because I'm like, I got time to take a piss. And someone's in there dropping a fucking forest of logs. And I'm just like, how is that like, how are you not more prepared for your day? That you go out to a show and the first thing that happens is, well, I guess I got to drop a fucking cannon in this toilet right now. I don't understand people who don't plan their bowel movements.
Yes,
It's crazy.
I hate. Well, I have bad bowel movements. That's why I don't eat certain things. But the people that get me are the men that are confident enough to like be like, "Hey, man, what's up?" Walk into the stall while you're in the bathroom and just let loose the loudest, nasty
animals.
shit. And they go, "Oh, sorry about that."
We're 8 minutes into this right now.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get
Yeah,
the stat.
and a
out.
lot of these shits last longer than that too.
Yeah.
They're like
Well, they
15
say that
minutes.
if you're
We had
if
to
you're
get this out
sitting
of our-
longer than 8 minutes, you are putting yourself at risk for
Yeah.
like hemorrhoidal pressure.
Yeah, I'm at that point right now. I'm going.
You
for
ever
something.
get on a good scroll and you don't feel your legs and you're
Yes.
like, oh no, it's like waking up blind.
Yeah.
I can't get up.
I'm
I couldn't
trying
even get up
to-
if I wanted to.
I'm trying to stop bringing my phone in the bathroom at home.
Oh my
What are you
gosh.
doing?
What
I'm
are you
I'm
just
trying-
raw dogging life?
Counting
now?
the-
Yeah, pretty
Counting-
much.
Oh my god.
Counting the threads on the towel across from you? What the fuck do you do? You are. We talked about this last week.
Yeah.
Marcus is on a prison diet right now.
I am on
He's
a
on a prison
diet.
lifestyle right now.
I feel great. I found God.
I'll
You
send-
do.
I'll
you
put
do,
some. I'll
he
put
has
some money
fun.
in your commissary so you can
Thank you. I could use it.
get a Nutter Butter soon. We're sending Marcus commissary, but don't forget to get some new deodorant and socks for you, Marcus.
Yeah, dude. Marcus is making Frito pizza pies and shit. What?
You know what I ate
You know what
yesterday?
he's not making? Hooch. He ain't
Yeah.
drinking hooch.
No.
No, he's
sober
leading
as
the
hell.
sermon.
You could start selling hooch if you start making it though, like a real prisoner, dude.
I'm not a real prisoner.
Be the-
But hey, you could
Be
s-
Jesus of Nazareth of Huntsville,
again.
Texas. Jesus of Nazareth of
There you
Huntsville,
go.
Texas.
Jesus of
Yeah,
Nazareth.
he's just a guy with a beard
I ain't
selling
committed
wine.
no crime.
Yeah, that's the other thing. There's a fun analogy with it. It's also it's very comedically like ironic that Marcus would just never go to jail.
For what? Yeah. All I do
Exactly.
is follow the rules.
You are turning into more of Jesus every day. He told me yesterday he did a 24-hour fast too.
Yeah, I did a 24-hour note and didn't eat anything for 24
For
hours.
Jesus?
No, for
Next thing you know, he's
For
gonna,
Mises.
Next thing you
For
know,
Mises.
Marcus is going to be
Now
trying
you're
to
getting-
offering his body to eat.
He's about to get. This
Pete,
is like
this is my body. I
this
offer
is
it
the
to you.
Kanye. I'm worried about you. This is the Kanye arc. It starts with Jesus is king, and then you end up Donda, which is admirable. But then you're like half of an equator away from dragging your wife out butt ass naked and becoming a
Hey,
neo-Nazi.
Phil. Yesterday, I thought about killing you.
Oh no, we're already in manic phase 2.
All right. Sorry, my
So
bad.
Philip, back to kill
And
Tony.
I love myself way more than I
Way-
love
way
you.
more than I
And
love
I thought
you.
about
Dude, I thought about killing myself.
Yeah.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah. All right.
Interview, yeah,
Yo,
bullshit.
did you see Yeezy's new outfit though? That was pretty wild.
the Nazi one?
How can you? Yeah, how can you not?
we already
finish the story?
covered this in the podcast.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, we covered the T-shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not the T-shirt. His new
Well,
robe.
let's just quit giving him a platform. Yeah, the black thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Jesus,
This is a trigger warning.
demonic.
Holy hell and a half.
Well,
that shit
Kanye,
off.
you know that was wrong.
Turn this shit off.
That's terrifying.
Yo, turn his
too.
TV off. Turn
Could
his
you?
TV
Yeah, Marcus.
That's
Turn
crazy.
the shit off.
The
Get it
cr-
off the TV.
But
Black.
could you? But
dog
I.
shit.
Yeah, dude. How could you imagine just like your friend comes out and he's like, "Yo, dude, can I show you my outfit?" And you're like, "What the? Hey,
It's a man who's looking for consequence at this point.
The guy's a
He's too
wiser.
successful.
a wiser?
He's a wizard, a wise wizard. I don't know what.
Oh, a wizard."
That one was a stretch. Okay, let's get back to
Alright.
this.
So Philip was on Kill Tony.
Tony,
Also-
when you sit down on the toilet,
Yeah, stained.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Ian, I think
If I
Why would she say that the dick and balls go in the water?
Back to this.
If I was like blessed enough, they would probably get a
Gotcha.
little, yeah, stained.
Gotcha.
Back to shit.
Yeah.
Ian, I think you can explain the punchline.
Red
right?
man, shut the fuck up.
Well, Tony, when you
Ian
sit
Edwards
down
is
on
hung
the
like a
toilet,
horse. Trust me, I
You
know.
saw it?
I'm opening for him.
Oh, nice.
That'd be
What, your
crazy.
mouth or your
I
butt?
also don't understand why you think you're fertile.
Yeah.
You're wasting Plan B, bro.
Fair enough. You're right. Why would it?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does.
How's life going, Philip? Let's talk about it. What's going on with you?
It's
Well,
going really
Tony,
well,
it's funny you
actually.
ask. I'm bleeding out of 3 holes, and
Did you say this?
no,
Oh,
I just,
God.
I was on there to, I knew because I was talking to Dan from Detroit Grinnell
Uh-huh.
before this. I was like, if I get on, like, I'm going to plug WTF, like that is
Yeah.
my agenda.
Yes.
Because at this point, I'm like, I want my platform to do as well. You know, so I'm also
Sure.
like, and also it's like, maybe you've been doing it long enough. This is my like 9th appearance. Maybe they'll like, throw me the bone.
Yeah.
And they did.
They did.
They did. They were very kind to let me do it.
Yes.
I could tell there was some hesitance, but also I was also being like, yeah, do that. That's good.
Yeah.
Like let them know that
Is
you're
that what's
work-
about to happen?
Yeah,
Is that
They're like,
what
let
that
me know
happened?
what you're working on.
Sunset
I do.
Strip Comedy Club.
Yep, work over
Another
at
employee
Don't
of
ruin
Red
it for
Band.
me.
Look at this. They all slowly
Make it loud for Sunset.
get shaped more and more like you the longer they work.
Are you
Yeah, isn't
sending
that
him
funny?
dick pics too?
Fat
No,
ass.
no.
What's been going on, Philip? You've been on the show multiple times.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Since then I've started like not to plug my own shit, but here I go. I've been doing the Man on the Street interviews on 6th Street. So I've been capturing that madness. And then recently I had some really big success with a clip that blew up. It had over like 100 million views.
Wow. What was the clip of?
Buffet Girl. Maybe y'all
Buffet
know.
Girl.
See,
Yeah, he doesn't
good.
know
Thank
that.
God the world's a good place that y'all don't know a viral clip
Is
when I
this
say it.
another dick sucking machine?
Yeah.
Because JJ Lieberman
She's
was
an
on right
OnlyFans
before
girl,
me.
So
Okay.
that's, yeah.
Who was?
I'm
JJ
basically just out
Lieberman.
there
So he was
creating
just up
porn
there
stars
being
out
an
of thin air.
absolute. No,
Comedian?
he's not a creep, but he's
wild
not a
guy.
I've just
pervert.
been
Wild
watching.
guy.
He's not a
I'm not a
pervert, but
pervert. I
yeah,
just saw his
but he
stuff,
definitely
actually.
talked about mommy milkers
Oh.
for like 10 minutes before I got on stage, and I was looking at the producers. I was like, "There's no way I'm doing this. Like, that's not in me. I don't know what the hell."
Talk about mountain
On six-
milkers?
Sixth
Yeah,
Street, giving them a spotlight.
What are you doing, molesting young women?
Pretty much.
No, not there yet. Maybe in a couple years when it's more successful, I guess, then I can go down that terrible road, right?
Oh, you rascal.
No, I would never do that. That's a joke. Can we scratch that?
How long have you been with your Latina girlfriend, Philip?
We're going on 3 years now. Yeah.
Okay.
Trace.
What does she
Yeah.
do for work?
Hey!
so Sam Talent and Marcus is just the exact same brain.
He's
Did
awesome.
you literally just
He
say
rules.
Trace as he said Trace?
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of cool
She
because
does
I've had my
like,
mom
kinda like
read Running the Light before. I was like, you should read this book. It's pretty crazy. It's kind of like it's a really exaggerated kind of a older view on what being a road dog was like. And my mom read it and she called me and she's like, "Why would you have me read that book? Now I'm just worried about you all the time."
Yeah. That's
And
the
then,
worst book for your mom to read,
yeah.
probably.
What is
But
it?
my mom, when she watched it, she was like, "Hey, that's the guy that wrote the book." And I was like, that's kind of cool.
He wrote a book about just being a road comic and stuff. I haven't read it, but
Yeah, it's really
I have
good.
met him. My
follows,
wife has opened for him before, so I've talked to him before. He's cool, super awesome, off
Very
stage
funny
too.
guy.
Yeah, great time. And I mean, just like,
Yes.
and he's so smart. Like he's able to talk about shit where it's like there are like 2 people in this room who even know what you're talking about, and there's like 20 people in the room.
very well read.
Yeah,
And
smart
he's
guy.
sports out the wazoo. When I met him at Skankfest backstage, it was like nice because it wasn't like comedy.
Yeah,
He was just talking about the Denver Broncos. We were talking
Yeah.
about like how the Mile High Stadium, what impacts it had on the sport.
Mm.
He just knew like 15 points on
Yeah.
So impressive, man.
Yeah.
I could.
I
Read
was
a book.
telling- He was
Read a
book. I was talking to
I
Dylan, the
listened to a book
bartender,
or two.
yesterday. We were talking because I was trying to explain something to Justin, and I had to like keep going further, like into basic levels of explaining it. I don't even know what it was, but I made the analogy to Dylan. I was like the analogy would be like if I went to Justin and was like, "Hey, what did you think of Star Wars 3?" He'd be like, "What? What do you mean?" And
Oh,
that-
it was the dates. You're talking about the dates. That's what it was. I was like, somebody said like January 6th.
oh yeah, and he's
and-
like, "What?" He's like, "I don't think
And
people know what
I
that is."
said maybe you could make it a more like a more popular date that some
Yeah.
like most people would know.
And then Dylan goes like October 7th, and Justin's like, "What's that?" So then I made the analogy. If I asked Justin, like, what do you think of Star Wars 3? He'd be like, what? And I'd have to explain what Star Wars is. And then I'd eventually have to explain to him what space is. That's kind of what I got to. I
See,
would
this
have to
is-
like
this
break
brings
it all
me
the way down.
to a new and rare friendly insult for you, Justin.
Oh, I
if
can't wait.
If ignorance is bliss, you should be the happiest motherfucker on earth. You should walk around like nothing but teeth all the time.
Unfortunately,
yeah, like that.
He's nothing. He's not that.
All the time. We should just hear you anywhere you go. Just I don't.
God damn that.
Unfortunately-
that was. That was.
He's not that ignorant.
You know what I mean?
Apparently not. I didn't say dumb. I said ignorant.
He's not ignorant enough to be
He
that
ignorant.
happy.
I like what I like.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
You mean
You
you're
know what
stuck
it
in
is?
your
It's
you're
a-
stuck in your ways is another way to put that.
That's right. I am stuck in my
Yes.
ways, and I like what I like, and I do what I do.
So that's
and
a
I only-
hermit experience. You need to be searching for the human experience.
Damn. But
Yeah,
but he's
bro.
also a social. You're a social butterfly.
I'm a social butterfly.
Life of
Like
the party.
I live more like
Life
a
of
hermit.
the party. This guy.
I'm like a
I am the life of a party guy.
I'm a worldly hermit, and he's an ignorant social butterfly.
think
He's just a
most-
fluttering everywhere.
Most Midwest guys I know have a little hermitage to them.
Yeah.
You have like your little cave. I don't know how to explain it. That's
Everyone
probably not
has
most
a
Well, I
cave.
mean, we all came from. I guess
I don't
guess
know.
the Midwest is more simple. I guess life.
No, y'all are just
they're always.
inside. You have to be inside all like for
We
half the year.
Well, we stay inside, but we also do things. You guys get a little bit of rain drizzle, and you're like, I can't drive for shit.
I can definitely tell.
We drive through a blizzard to go get drunk at a bar to drive home drunk in the blizzard.
Goddamn right.
Y'all don't know how to handle your shit.
Yeah. You know what's
We're
crazy?
real men. We're miserable, but yeah, we'll go get miserable at the bar too. We can drive there.
Yeah.
a
You know,
good
and in
segue.
Texas, everyone will have a huge pickup truck, and they'll be like,
Oh.
well, "I don't want to go out tonight. It's a little
Oh,
rough
shit.
out there."
Hey, my big
It's
old
like you
lifted
got
truck.
you got a fucking 15-wheel pickup truck.
The
all
reason
right?
for the pickup truck is because if you do get in a drunk driving accident, you win.
Oh, that's what it is?
Who are you gonna hit? A cow? There's no one out there.
And if you did, would it matter? No, because it's only two of the wheels of the 15
Yeah.
got messed up.
And you're like, I got a steak dinner out of it too.
I want a truck with a wheel in the middle.
Wait, is that one gonna
You
hit the
wanna
toilet
make
too?
I don't know.
You
I
want
just want a car with
wanna-
one
a
you
wheel
wanna
in the
Mad
middle.
tricycle?
Fury?
You want a tri
I
truck?
want to be able to pick up the wheels on the side and run it like a motorcycle down the road.
So you want to have a Batman car.
You want a Batmobile?
I like that.
I think I want a Batmobile.
Batmobile
Oh
would be
my
pretty
God.
cool. Which Batmobile would you choose though? Which one?
The
I don't know.
Lambo one.
What drinking stories did we have lined up for this? Because we perfectly
We didn't finish Kill
segued.
Tony, dude.
We don't have to. We got it.
Yeah.
It's just me. I talk about.
Yeah, finish it.
Yeah, I say thank you. Thanks for the pod. Thank you, Kill Tony, for letting me plug all my stuff. It's done wonders for everything, I guess. And then also the rest of the interview went. It's like I got secret to show. Thanks for coming back out. Very simple stuff.
Look at that.
Oh, I'm the next Ken Patterson.
Oh.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, actually, Cam called me. He said, "Congrats, man.
Then your
taking-"
dick should be hitting the water.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Is
That's
like
right.
every day since my appearance, it's actually gone up. That's
Your dick is
crazy.
shrinking?
It's going inside of me further.
Whoa.
It's actually
you're turning
it's
into
like
a pussy.
It's like here at this point. I'm kind of worried. You can feel it at the bottom of my.
You
throat.
know, I was
You
wondering.
guys want to throw up all this?
I was wondering whose dick was in his throat. Turns out it's his own.
my own. I'm so inside of me
He's
that
sucking
it's
his
like,
own
This
cock.
isn't actually a tongue. It's my penis.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's why I stopped smoking with you.
Oh God, we are so good at being retarded.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Quest.
the
wait.
retard every time.
We can riff
podcast.
anything if it's about.
Last point. You were talking about fuck. Shit.
Gave him all that
oh
pressure,
no! You made me laugh, so I forgot. It's the way that you talk about this, like how you're just like so nonchalant. You're like, yeah, it's just like I just did it the 9th time, and they gave me a secret show. They just like it was like whatever. I got to plug my show that I do on the street. They loved me. It was great. I got an applaud break.
You got to be bigger than
It's
the numbers.
whatever. And then I'm sitting here like, damn, dude, I wish I could talk about the fucking thing.
You got to be bigger than the numbers, bro.
Bigger than the numbers.
I am bigger than the numbers, man.
You got to not want it.
I know. That's what I've been noticing.
That's
It's
what they
pissing
tell
me
you.
off, and it's been
That's
pissing
what
me off so much.
Austin.
And I
You want to talk about
you,
Austin,
Phillip.
Texas comedy?
Oh, I-
Austin, Texas comedy is he ain't got to want it.
That's what it is, dude.
And
And
then
I
they'll
keep-
give you
want it.
everything.
I keep talking about Philip. I looked at Jordan, my fiance, last night,
Can you
and I
not
go,
do that?
huh?
I just sorry. I
The
just
only way it
imagine-
gets hard.
I just imagine him and Jordan just sitting there, just like
No,
Philip Garcia's living down the street, and he's got. You're like, I don't know.
No, Phil.
You
I
get mad.
looked at Jordan. And I go, Philip's trying to teach me something, and I just wish that I had more of what he has. This not give a fuck, just whatever. He's someone like the other day we went to HEB. He looks at me and he goes, Justin, you just gotta live your life, dude. You gotta be free, dude. And he walks over to the Wagyu beef, the most expensive beef in HEB, and he goes, dude, I come here for the deals every time, dude. And he gets 3 Wagyu beef steaks for himself. He goes, I'm gonna cook some tacos, dude. Just Wagyu beef, go home, just cooks it, and he doesn't care. And he goes, I have no money, but I'm buying Wagyu beef. He buys a 6-pack.
It was cheaper than the regular because every like 2 weeks, HEB puts the Wagyu sirloins on sale for $9.99 a pound.
Yeah.
Right, it's pretty good. So you can walk out with like 3 pretty decent sized steaks for like $17.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
I'm
That's
not
frivolous.
arguing with
No,
you.
but what I'm telling you is because they can't sell
Yes.
that shit for full price. So every
Yeah.
2 weeks they have to mark it down. I go
Yeah.
home, I'm like, I'm making myself Wagyu steak tacos right now.
He does
Yeah.
that, and then he goes, and then while he's doing this, he's like booking a golfing for the next day.
Well, you
and he's like,
gotta-
he looks at me, he goes, Justin, dude, I have no money, but I'm living it up, dude. I don't know what's gonna happen, but hey, I'm smiling, and I go, I just want that. I just wanna just be that. I don't know because everything.
I don't do that.
Yeah,
I
you gotta let
know.
go. You
I
gotta
know,
let
and
go.
I'm trying to let go, and I'm just like being like, like everything, like, and then I hit a bump, and I'm like, fucking, and then I'm just like, and then another thing happens, and I'm like,
You know, there's certain things that you can't control.
and I know, and I'm trying to
And
just be
you
like,
have
guys, I'm
to
not,
worry about those things.
and that's what I'm trying to, but my brain won't let me let go. Why can't I just let go? I just don't. I just want to be there. I'm like, hey, so I try to like do things. And then I'm like, okay, if this is me letting go, you know what? I'm gonna drink a beer here, and then it's
yes,
like, no,
the serenity prayer.
You ever heard that God gives his toughest battles to his strongest warriors?
I
That's a
think
good
there might have been a mix-up in the mail. Justin got the toughest battles, and he's not. He's not the strongest soldier.
He got Justin drafted
Yes.
to a spiritual war he has no belief
Yeah,
in.
yes.
He's asking, he's knocking on front doors. Have you heard the fucking word of the guy or whatever today? Jesus Christ, please
Yeah.
God, just let me come inside and drink some water.
Dude, I
You
do.
know how much times I use Palo Santo on myself, dude? I say cleanse my negative energy and take it away.
That's what you're
and
supposed to
then-
be
Well, because
using
you're doing
sage.
voodoo island
That's what I use.
magic,
I mean, sage
man.
too.
Yeah.
Stop doing voodoo island magic.
I'm not doing. I'm just.
Voodoo Island.
Go
Hey,
to church.
you and
You're
your king-
Catholic, bud.
This is the Serenity Prayer.
Yes.
I want to read this. This,
All right.
This is how you live like Philip.
Grant me
Hold
this-
on.
I do
Before we
not
get into that,
do
this is
that.
like an Alcoholics Anonymous prayer, and Philip is not an
I
Alcoholic
learned
Anonymous.
this as a kid. This is just a prayer.
Okay.
Okay. Grant. So this is the Serenity Prayer. Grant me the serenity to accept the things
Well,
I
first
cannot
of all,
change.
we have to Google the definition of serenity.
Funny.
Justin.
Keep going, Justin.
Actually, that would make sense. That would help.
I'll see. I also don't know the exact definition of it. I can
I would
get the
assume it's.
context.
I would.
Same
The
word.
root
Happiness?
word is Serena Williams.
Oh, so it's about tennis.
Yes.
It's like being like Serena, like
Yeah.
itty.
Yeah.
Like
Just
your
going with the flow.
serenity,
Oh.
itty,
Like
yeah.
every time I tie my bra, I go, make me like Serena.
Oh.
Make me like Mike. Okay. All right.
Oh, make me like Mike.
It's like Mike, but Serena Williams.
I know, like Mike. Yeah, I don't.
Says also Philip Garcia.
What's
What?
the opposite of
Made
serenity?
up a synonym.
Justin S. Mucker.
Oh, for real.
That's an antonym. That's a mocker.
Can you put that on what was it, the internet?
Anxiety.
Anxiety,
Wikipedia.
agitation, AAD.
Ooh, fuck.
Whoa. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference.
Boom. How you feel?
You need the wisdom to know the difference more than anything.
I do.
Well, that's why it's the last part, because it's like it is easy to be like, I can't change certain things, but in the same time, it's like, well, you can do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have some agency in life.
See, but my
I-
argument
my-
is that the more you're freaking out about things,
Yeah.
the less capable you are to handle and gather the courage you can to change the things you can.
Yeah.
And that's,
And that's
part
what
of
I'm
the
going
wisdom.
through. And that's
Like
what
earlier.
I'm going through. And I'm also it's doing a lot of just a lot of why me. So but then I'm like, well, maybe it's because you're not at I always tell myself that it's not the time yet then.
Yeah.
Because there's a reason why the things I'm feeling the way I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're not doing the best you can be.
Yeah.
You're not being as fun as you can be on stage
Ideally,
for something.
you know, you don't want to freak out about things. But here's me on the contrary, as being a little bit of the devil's advocate towards my own cause. Mythbusters say that if you're experiencing pain and you yell cuss words, you experience less pain. So maybe we should be freaking out a little bit more.
Yeah, but
I freak out all the time.
Mythbusters.
You know, like one of those every once in a while.
Yeah, that's why I feel good.
Yeah.
I scream a lot in my car.
Yeah, it's cathartic.
There was a time where it was just like it was a real dark time in Austin, and I was just every day in my car screaming
Is that
just
when
to
you were
try to
just
release.
doing acrylic paintings of black.
No, I think
Yeah.
it was that.
That was- I had a
Eclipse.
mental
The
break-
eclipse was a really dark time. Sorry.
That too.
Okay.
No, I mean I did have a dark time. I mean I had the paintings. That's when I had like a full on freak out, and when we were in that apartment, and when we first moved here, and I remember just painting like 3 canvases, just crazy, and they were just freaky.
Troubled artist.
I am a troubled artist. I doodle a lot of faces too that are just
Mhm.
people screaming, and I feel like there's a reason behind that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always just remember that I started doing comedy because I always wanted to have a good time.
Yeah.
And lately, I haven't been having a good time.
Well, I mean, why else do you do this?
Because I do have a good time. When I'm having fun, my thing is I want to perform. That's when I'm having fun. All the stuff around comedy, it takes a weight on a person. It's
Sure,
like
but what other job can you walk into a room and be like, "What's up, you fucking cocksuckers? Put my penis in your mouth. Let's have a good time tonight.
That's
You
awesome.
drinking?"
yeah, I want to do that. I do that all the time. And but the other shit around it is like the waiting the 5 hours and being like, hey,
Justin, let me give you one quick caveat though, because
Please.
he just showed the perfect example. Because Phil is very, nonchalant and this and this and that. But you know what that causes? A lot of messes. There's a lot of messes that Phil doesn't clean up, and that's why he doesn't have that anxiety.
There was a point in my life where I had to learn to enjoy cleaning up messes too.
Yeah.
oh, dude. Speaking of that, you want just what has happened?
Mhm.
And you said Philip just leaves messes. Yesterday, when I went shopping at HEB, I got toilet paper. I saw it. I walked in and it was on a deal, right? And I was like,
Oof.
oh, $10 for 12 rolls. Great deal.
That's not a good deal.
for what it was. Yeah.
Was it good toilet paper?
So, yeah, it was HEB brand. I get it all the time. I love it. Great. It's strong. Literally.
Christ. Back to toilet paper.
We're back in the toilet.
So then I walked down the aisle and then I saw Angel Soft had a better deal. It
I thought
was
you were
like,
gonna say Angel Reese.
Yeah.
Angel Reese toilet paper.
no, if it was Angel Reese, I would have totally missed it. Ew. So it was Angel Soft. It had like 16 rolls or something. It was a better deal
Yeah.
for like a little bit less.
Yeah.
And so I grabbed that. I'm like, fuck it. We need the toilet paper. I'm saving money today. I don't give a shit. We're getting all the toilet paper for the month. I took the other toilet paper, and I set it on top of something randomly. And then I was like, oh, fuck it. It wasn't where it was supposed to go. And then I walked down the other aisle, and I was just like, fuck. I got to go put it back. I got to go put it where it belongs. And so I go, you're such a good person, Justin, because I couldn't believe in the karma that I'd get. So I walked down the aisle, I went and grabbed it, and I put it away to where it belonged. And I was just like, no one does this except my dumbass because I've done this job, and I hate when people do it. But I'm trying to that was me trying to let go. Was me setting it somewhere just like Philip would do. I was just like, and I'm sorry to blame you. You might not do that, but I'm just like, this is what normal people do.
Philip would have stolen it.
Yeah.
He
but
would
I
have
was
walked
just like,
out. and
I was
stolen
gonna say that earlier. If I'm wiping my ass with it, I'm not paying for it.
it. That's
I
crazy.
couldn't believe it. Toilet paper. They sell toilet paper for $21. What the fuck is the world coming to? Paper. This right here, they're selling it for $10.
So that's why you
bro,
go
for
to
a pack.
Costco and you pay $20 and you get like 4 months worth right
Yeah.
then and there, and you get it done. Paper
You know
towels.
what I
That still
did?
blows my mind though that it's paper. That it's like I'm like, why?
Yeah, but you shouldn't pay for it. You should not pay for anything that goes on the toilet. Goldfish, they should come to you for free. And toilet paper, that should go to you for
Yeah,
free.
but
as well.
by that logic, the food that you eat eventually goes into the toilet, so you shouldn't pay for the food either.
Ooh, I like this logic. Keep going. So wait. What about work? How can you get?
Well, when you don't pay for anything, you're not going to work either.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
yeah, it's-
But how do you get the stuff if you don't pay for the stuff?
You steal it.
Oh, but how do they get
No.
away with it without
You
them
tell
noticing?
yourself that this is okay. You just keep saying that. You
I
say,
can't. I'm so.
I have to
guilty.
accept
It's
the fact that I don't have to pay for things. And I have to know that certain things aren't going to get paid for, and that's okay.
God,
And I have to know the difference.
let me accept the fact that I cannot pay for things, but give me the courage to steal it.
Yeah, that's
That's
Philip has a whole
That's your
different
own
prayer.
prayers, dude. The Philip Serenity
And the
prayer.
wisdom to go home and Enjoy it all.
And
Grant-
he does,
Grant-
and he'll invite his friends over, and we're all having a great time. Like, man,
Yeah.
Philip always has the best stuff.
Yeah,
and you're
he
like,
stole it.
and then
No.
and then, a day, and then after
Your
you
toilet
eat
paper. There's
it's
no.
like when
He
feeding,
does not have the best toilet
It's like
paper.
feeding someone
No.
something that you didn't know what it was. It was like you fed your friend squirrel or human, and then you're like, man, that was good. What was it? He's like, it was our friend Billy, and you're like,
Yeah.
what?
I think Marcus is the only person I've ever fed stolen steaks to.
No, you fed me it.
No,
with
I'm
it.
the only person you ever told. Yeah, I'm the only person who ever was there when you stole it, and then we went and ate it.
Yeah, and then he gets in your car and he's like, yeah, we can go home now, and you're like, what the fuck?
No,
You
that
don't even
was
know-
like that's probably the only time that's ever happened. It's because I promised you steak. I got over there and I was like, it was like the first week that steak just became unruly priced. And it was like $28 for 2 steaks, and I was like, it wasn't that good of a golf round.
Do you remember?
I just put him in the cart and was like, I'll pay for everything else. But
The
steak.
funny thing is, after he steals it, you get back in your car, and Phil's like, "We can go now," and then you're like, "Okay," and then he's
Yeah.
like, "No, like let's go.
No, like, you have to
we
go.
gotta go."
Like, see that
We're not
worker?
getting McDonald's. Get in the fucking car.
You
I
see,
just
you
wanted
see
a
some.
small, I just wanted a small milkshake though.
You
we
see,
gotta go.
I'll
you
pull
see
the car
those
up front.
blue Walmart vests coming behind you with their limp that they have,
Hustle, hustle, hustle.
and you see that object in the mirror close. It's kind of like that Jurassic Park scene with the T-Rex chasing the
Yeah.
Jeep, but it's just Walmart employees
Dude,
chasing
every
me and
time-
Phil.
They catch me because I'm weighed down by 2 pounds
my
of pure USDA prime beef.
Yeah, dude, you
And all the money's still in his wallet.
It's an extra pound.
Sorry.
Dude, you know what? Every time I just walk into a store and I see like an 85-year-old man or woman just looking at you like, just what? Hello, welcome in, and you're just like, oh my god, that's gonna be me. Because it's like I don't have a savings fund. I don't have a retirement plan. They don't give us pensions anymore.
Hey, Justin, I hate to tell you this. By the time you're 85, robots are going to be the greeters.
I love that.
And you ain't stealing beef from a goddamn robot, all right?
Philip's gonna be always fighting the robots, and he's
Yeah.
like, "What are you gonna do about it?" And it's like, "Sir, give us the beef back."
No, I paid for it. This receipt is from 3 years ago. No, it's not. Well, hold on. I got it in my pocket, dude.
That's Philip, dude.
That's me.
Philip, is that was Randy Marsh?
What's
Randy
funny
Marsh?
is like
You
this
are
is a,
Randy
this
Marsh,
is a single
dude.
incident story, but the truth is like when man they don't really have them anymore because the 2 that were in Austin shut down. But I used to go to butchers and pay like really good money for steaks.
Butcher shops. They have those
Yeah.
in Michigan where life is good, where life is simpler.
I don't know why
You
one
know
can't
what?
stay open in Austin. It
I
makes
don't-
so much sense, and they're always busy when I go to them. And then you turn around 6 months later, and it's just gone.
Bunch
You're
of
like, "What happened?"
vegans.
I guess, but I'm paying $32 for like a couple steaks. I'm like, why the hell are y'all not staying open? I guess it makes sense.
Hey guys, question.
Sure.
Like simpler times, with all the technology, they got this tech hub coming
Like
to Austin,
Columbine simpler times or like Woodstock
No,
simpler
before
times?
that.
Okay.
like right in the middle of Woodstock and then Columbine. Like before that, like
That whole era was a vibe.
Yeah.
It was like 1970 to
It's
1999.
like Trump's still just on TV as a
Yeah.
personality.
no.
People
this is
still
before
like Trump.
Yeah,
People-
Trump
yeah.
was
Bill Clinton hasn't raped anyone publicly yet.
Publicly.
Monica
Yes.
Lewinsky. Monica Lewinsky
Oh, we're
was still a
talking
nice
we're talking
person.
golden era. Like Michael
Yeah.
Jackson is even found out
Yeah.
yet. There's
Michael
suspicion.
Jackson
Yeah.
is kind of tan at this point.
Whoa.
When it was young.
Okay, what's going on? What's the hypothetical here?
Why is like
couple of years down the road.
we got all this tech? Like, do we need the tech stuff? Like here, we don't have flying cars yet. Do we have to keep building the buildings? Why can't we just let the city just
Because
be-
dumb people keep fucking and smart people don't.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of dumb people that need to be housed, and there's not enough smart people to make sure that it's all happening in a ruly fashion.
What I'm trying to say is, do we need to keep building all these buildings, and do we have to keep taking away the land?
This
Do
is
we need
actually
s-
kind of, the birth rate is like plummeting right now because nobody in our generation is having children.
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
can't. We all don't want to work for the man, or
And
we have to
because-
work for the man, but we
Yeah.
don't want to have kids because we can't afford the kids. But
And then the people
That's
who
not even true.
and then Phil is just grinding up Plan B and putting it in his girlfriend's
It's true.
head.
What's crazy is like I think like last year between Allie and I, we made more money probably than my mom did when she was like first becoming a single mother when I was like 13, 14.
Mm.
When she was like still just like at the like not at the bottom of her job, but middle
Yeah.
of her job. And she was raising 3 kids.
Yeah.
And we made probably about the same amount, if not a little bit more. And I'm sitting there going, There's no way in hell. Like
Probably
I don't
2010.
I don't know how that would have happened in the slightest.
No, I think things were different back then because my dad was just working and my mom took care of us, but we somehow made it. My dad wasn't making that much money either, from what I found out.
Talking like 2012.
Yeah, and that's kind of the idea is prices have been skyrocketing.
Oh, sorry. That
2012, I was already an adult, so this doesn't affect me.
Yeah, so it's already a 50%.
Yeah,
That's insane.
50%.
So never mind. That's actually probably right. So her
What do you mean?
her like if it was $50,000 and she was making 75K.
But here's the one caveat. It's not that the dollar you earn is now $1.41.
Yeah, no.
It's the dollar you earn might not even be $1. Yeah, the buying power is
Yeah, my
fucked.
buying power right now. And then, dude, my buying power is really low. And then yesterday, I was driving through Austin, and I was just like, dude, this is Monopoly, like you've said. Because everybody, like, what you got to do, apparently, is if you get the money and you're driving and you see property, just buy it because someone's going to land on it and then they got to pay you money.
Yeah.
So just buy property and just put a building on it because apparently that's how you make money.
But and I know I got the joke
But you
about
gotta have
it.
money. How do you have the money? But I don't ever pass go.
So the joke I have is like being a millennial is joining a game of Monopoly halfway through. It's like, oh, you guys already bought all the property. So our generation essentially joined a game of Monopoly. You know how most Monopoly, everyone starts with some cash.
yeah.
You have to. We didn't get to start with cash.
Oh shit.
All the
yeah.
property was bought,
Yes.
and we have to keep rolling. You
And-
can't just be like, can I skip a turn? They're like, go fuck yourself. Go roll.
Yeah, it's like basically as soon as we
Oh my-
got our as soon as we got our buy-in to the game,
Yeah.
the spectacle guy was like, actually, every $100 bill is actually really only worth 72.
Yep.
And you also need to get smart enough to understand how that's going to break down when you make a purchase. Also, education's going to cost you about $60,000. That's really like, look, I didn't do it, but it's like $98,000. It's we're fucked. It's
Yeah.
more like life. It's much more closer to life at this point. Except for the wheel doesn't spin. It's a gun and it puts it to your fucking head and it says, "Figure it out, kid."
Yeah. And then I did go to jail and had to roll.
I also had to go to jail and wait 2
That's what
turns
I'm
to figure
saying.
my shit out. Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
crazy thing is, if you land on free parking, now you have to pay for free
Oh
parking.
no, Austin!
yeah.
Austin got rid of free parking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
now
what
it's
the-
just a parking lot that costs you $30 fucking a month.
a
Yep.
day. Dude, I'm over it. How what else are you using the parking spots for, dumbass?
You know what's
What?
crazy?
Oh no, hey, we just you park there and then you give us money and then we take the money and then we don't do nothing with it.
What's crazier is that like $30 today would have been like 18 a month back then.
I just
Yeah.
don't understand. Like, it doesn't make sense how you can make
Jesus
parking that
Christ.
expensive though, too. Though, who's like making that? Like,
It's
how?
real estate, buddy. It's straight real estate. You are paying for a spot in a city in the middle of it. If you don't see that, that's crazy. I mean, that's what it is. You're taking up a
But
like
the
a
spot-
10x6 spot, which is essentially a storage unit, like or shitty studio apartment downtown in the middle of like the skyscrapers. So they have to make that money back because otherwise it could just be office space or housing
So where
where
does
they
it
can
go
charge
to though?
the guys who own the building because they have kids. Yeah.
Yes, and then again, this
Oh.
is why it's monopoly. But the problem is, we can't own property.
No, unless we all went in on it and maxed out all of our credit cards and then took out the craziest.
Oh, you
business
mean
loan
our
of all time.
already maxed out credit cards?
We're walking in like the little rascals. We're stacked up on each
Yeah,
other with the beards.
yeah.
But you're the top because you already have the beard.
Yeah.
And then we're like,
Hello, sir.
we need a loan for some lumber. We're gonna build a
Yes.
parking garage. It's
Yeah,
just
we're
2
gonna
covered
build a
spots out in
parking
the back
garage.
of Sunset.
Hey, can we build a carport on 6th Street, please? We'll pay for it. Yeah.
Dude, I would love to have just 2 parking spots in downtown. That would make me money.
I'm getting one. I did it through Sunset. I got mine.
I did too. I cannot wait. That is amazing. That is a game changer to be downtown.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit in that parking garage for hours and just get hotbox my car all the time now.
And you know what's the term game changer, back to Monopoly? Sometimes you have to start the game over. Sometimes
Yeah.
you have to be like, these boomers need to fucking die. And I know that's sad because it's all of our parents and I love my mom and it's just a bummer because it's like, Well, everyone's gonna have to die. People have to fucking start dying, okay? And it can't be our generation because then you only have old fucks left, okay? And COVID tried real goddamn hard, and we came up with a fucking vaccine, and it just kept that number's not high enough.
It's going up.
15 million a year? Are you shitting me? You know how much Dak Prescott makes? Like 40 million a year, and we're only killing 15 mil a year.
No, that's not 8 year. That's this year.
Look at
Well,
the
it's
public.
got to go up.
Look how fast.
Look at
Look how
the
fast,
expenditures just go up. They don't even take a breath. They're
Oh,
just
the
like,
public health care? Yeah, that's because I paid mine and my wife's. You paid yours. Did you pay your health? Well, you got. Never mind. And
Mine went up.
well-
Mine used to be $3 a month through the government healthcare marketplace, and now I pay $49 a month for the same exact.
I
thing.
was like,
what?
$3 a month?
That's what it used to be, but then this year,
Yeah.
no, it's a really good. I have a gold
How-
plan.
What?
For
See,
how much?
again, back to I'm like, I don't know. How do you?
I had a
what-
tax credit,
I have a tax credit.
right? But
I'm paying
that's what
$60
saying.
a
This
month.
year they were like, it's going to cost you $50 a month now.
Yeah.
For what?
Jesus.
For health
Healthcare.
insurance.
you got health insurance for $50 a month?
Yeah, it's still pretty affordable, but it's like
Yes, you can get health insurance.
Yeah, I gotta get some of that. It's just crazy, dude. This is like some
why is bicycles up there?
bicycles produced this year.
Way more bikes.
I
than
want to
cars.
know how many bikes got stolen this year. That's what I want to. Fuck
Oh
making
my God,
bikes.
They found the moped. They found
found
Allie's
it?
moped in
Whoa.
Kyle, Texas.
Son of a bitch.
How
This
did they
person
find
got it started and then managed to keep it running long enough to drive it 25 minutes south,
Yeah.
which is crazy for a 125cc. And that means
Yeah.
this guy had a crack pipe and a will and a dream to get this thing down Manchaca.
I don't know if it was a
Dude,
dream
he's
as
like
much
the-
as a hallucination.
It was
Yeah.
like the
crazy.
Dumb and Dumber scene where they drive to
Yeah.
the Rocky Mountains and he's just. I'm
You know
a-
what's even crazy? I got a guy arrested, and I was like at the direct like the cops were on the phone with me. You were downstairs laughing your ass off. They're like, "Do you have the VIN number?" And then Allie's like, "I have to find the paperwork. Let me see." And then the cops were like, "Can I give it to you later?" And the cops go, "I kind of got someone detained right now, and we can't really move forward with an arrest unless you get." And then Allie's like, "I found it on my phone." And then you just hear us go like, GWHB, and then you just hear the cop start like laughing, and then you just hear the sound of a full-grown man getting slammed against the hood of a car.
Hell
Just
yeah. God damn it, dude.
4,
Hell
9,
yeah.
16,
Justice.
16 characters of just written guilt through the phone. He said, you
Oh.
can just tell like every single letter we read, that's the exact same. He's just fucking,
Yeah.
all right, you're going to jail, buddy. And I'm like, oh shit. we
They
just
got him
gotta-
fully loaded, and then the last number comes in, and they're like, "Oh, and that's it, dude." And this guy's just like, "Please say the wrong number. Please say the wrong number."
This whole scenario, this whole podcast of what we just talked about, what Philip does, and then the guy getting arrested.
It
for
would have been
stealing the
funny to
vote.
like mess up one letter and be like, Jay.
That's called a
And then have to
technicality.
let him go.
Yeah.
I'm just like, Jay at the end.
See, that's the thing. It's
Jay.
like you can be the most liberal-minded, like, no, jails
Hey.
are unconstitutional. But if once your moped gets stolen, you turn into
That's
a
not even-
bootlicking fascist
No, that's not
real
even
fast.
true. We were just kind of moving through the motions because they were asking us. I
A
realized
lot of
when we
people
were
moved
doing
through
it,
the motions in the
but
30s
also,
and 40s in
Allie's
Germany
like,
too.
we got to get it back. I'm like, you don't understand. This moped is covered in human shit. It has a screwdriver in the ignition, and we're gonna have to call this guy in jail to ask him how he got it started.
Mm.
Wait, so they,
It's a lost cause.
how did they find this moped?
Also, the cops don't give a shit about your belonging. You know why? Because they called us to validate it was ours. And then they have not, they basically said, fuck it, figure it out yourself. They didn't tell
That's
us where
what
it was
they
going.
do.
They didn't tell us it's towed. They haven't told us it's been sitting there for 2 days racking up tow fees.
Yeah.
No, so we just have to be like, hey, thanks for doing it and getting an arrest out of it and not getting me my item back.
But we got a criminal off the street.
Dude, speaking of
Sure.
seriously,
Or you got a poor sap who had his last $200 and gave a guy who was actually a criminal the money to drive around a moped he thought was okay. You never know who was driving it.
yeah, dude, I don't know if I've told you this before. Speaking of stolen stuff, our house was broken into like 3 times, and we lived in the middle of nowhere. And the one time they
That's
broke
nuts.
in, we lived in. Well, also the dumb shit's in the newspaper. They put it in like our local newspaper that like, hey, local law enforcement's really not doing much in this area. So then all of a sudden break-ins just started happening around where we lived. And we lived in like the country, dirt roads and farms, and like you don't see us. So we got broken into, and when they broke in, they stole like our my dad's guns and like family jewels and stuff, jewelry that we had, and they pawned it off. So then all of a sudden the guy they find the people, they arrest them, and then they start finding all of our property in all of these pawn shops, and we can't get it back. You have to buy your shit back, or just let it go.
Or you have
because
to
it's
prove that it's yours.
no, you can't. You can prove that it's yours, but then you have to buy it back.
Gold
They don't
doesn't
even
have
give it to
serial
you back.
numbers, Yeah.
It's crazy.
That
they're
is
just like
such
fuck
a
you.
fucking scam,
And or
dude.
if you can get some of the stuff back from I think the prison.
You can get
I got
stuff
my
with serial numbers on it back because you can prove, and they have systems to do that. But unless you have pictures of that gold piece and give it to law enforcement as part of the case, then they can come in and be like, "This is the belonging. It belongs to them." Then the pawn shop has to
Yeah.
take the loss.
well the way
But
that
you have to prove it. Like,
it's just
beyond a
the way
reasonable
that you
doubt
have to
it's
go
yours.
through everything just to be like prove that it's your shit that someone stole that pawn it off, and you're like, well, I just want my stuff back, and I know that that's mine.
Dude, I mean, you got to do that. I
With
mean,
everything,
you get in
and
a
that's
car
what's fucked
accident.
about the world.
That's why insurance is such a scam, because it's like, hey, we're gonna give you this deal, and if anything happens, we're there for you, right? You're in
Yes.
good hands,
Yeah.
literally. And then
But
something happens,
bullshit.
and they're like, well, you understand our position. We can't just take your word for it that
Yeah.
it happened. Well, I took your word for it that you were gonna protect me.
Yeah.
You had commercials. You had a cool black guy on the TV being like, and then you got the thing behind the
Yeah.
field goal
When I
post,
got in my
and you got
last
the thing
accident,
everywhere.
yeah.
And I took your word for it, and
Yeah.
and now you won't take my word for it. And I think that's fucking bullshit.
When I got my last accident, I told Progressive they should change their name from Progressive Insurance to Progressive Shadow of Doubt.
Yeah.
Yes, for real.
Because and then, man, they pulled the crazy. We already talked about that, Pop. They pulled that crazy billing shit with me earlier this year. They're
Oh
like,
yeah.
Oh, we forgot to bill you, so now you owe $415 in 1 month because we didn't charge you last month. I go, well, that's not my fault, and I don't have $450. I go, well, you have 5 days to get it canceled, or you have 5 days to pay that, or your policy's canceled. So I was like, so I'm covered. There's no lapse, and they're like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go get new insurance. Let it go to collection. Fuck you.
Yeah.
You're not a government agency.
You said that?
Yeah.
Fuck
I
yeah.
literally, I was like, so you're telling me there's no lapse? I could go and get insurance right now without the lapse penalty. Because if you lapse with insurance, and I go to like Geico like I did,
Yeah.
they'll be like, you lapsed for a day? Well, we don't know what happened to that car, and it was uninsured for a 24-hour period. So now we're going to charge you like $250 a month because it lapsed for the first business cycle or first quarter. And I was just like, okay, let me go get the handle. And then I called it Geico, called Progressive back and said, can you go ahead and cancel that policy? They're like, yeah, you'll be billed at the end of next month for the remaining fee. And I was like,
yeah.
See,
I was like, oh yeah, go ahead and just send that off immediately to a collections agency because you're not ever getting that.
Yeah.
It's crazy that I hate the world.
Oh, the so
the
I went,
way that insurance was even brought up and made that it was legal, it became a private thing.
well, this is why with the health insurance thing, right? This is why. So I went to the doctor a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, it was no copay.
Yeah.
My annual physical, no copay. So I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, we're gonna get these blood tests done. He gives me this sheet. It's like 12 blood tests. I go to the clinic. I'm like, hey, what if this is covered by my insurance? I don't want to get a surprise bill. And they're like, well, we don't know. You got to call your insurance.
Yeah.
But here's all the codes for it, and you can call them and tell them. So I get on the phone with the insurance. Only 4 of the 12 were covered. So I would have been fucked.
That's
Yeah.
crazy for a
I have the
basic
worst
physical.
insurance. I have the worst one. Yeah. Well, he wanted to do all these tests because he's a doctor, and that's why
Yeah.
it's all so separated
Also, if
and
you can
past
get
the
the office
baton.
time in Austin, get the test because you're not getting back in that office for who knows how fucking
Well,
long.
so here's what happened. I do the 4 tests, and then I have to pay 1 out of pocket because he wanted to check something, the thyroid, right? So I
Yeah.
paid $25 for that one. I go back to the doctor. He goes through the tests with me. I have a low thyroid, whatever that means. Everything else is good. I'm good.
Yeah.
So he was like, you want to take these pills? I'm like, no. He's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, I don't want to take them. He's like, you're really sure? I'm like, just give me the free ones, man. And then I go to check out, right? And he's like, all right, so you're going to come back in 3 weeks and you're going to do another blood test after you take these pills and you're going to come back and then we're going to see how it is, right? And I'm like, okay. And then I go up to the counter and she's like, you have a $105 copay today. I'm like, what? Well, last time it was 0. They're like, well, yeah, it's $105. And I'm like, and then in 3 weeks, it's going to be another $105, right? And I'm going to have to pay for this blood test, right? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, I'll be back in 12 months. And
Yeah.
take these free pills too. I just Googled, how do you improve your thyroid? And it's like, you can eat like asparagus and be healthy. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to pay another $130 fucking dollars just to have this fucking doctor be like,
Dude, the world
it's
is
getting a little
just-
better. And it's
I
like,
was like-
fuck you.
There was
I'm
a
sorry.
comic at a show the other day. I don't remember his name, but he had the funniest line. He was just like, it's crazy how when your healthcare fails you, you just start believing in the most crazy holistic things.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, if
Oh,
you rub
dude.
shea butter on your elbow pit, you'll just cure cancer. And you're
Yeah,
like,
I'm
God
getting
damn
into
well.
Voodoo Island magic. It's called vegetables.
You're just hotboxing sage, being like, thyroid be well.
I'm feeling great. Thanks
Thank
for
you for
watching.
watching.
Thanks for watching.
Subscribe, comment, like, and share. We'll see you next week. This the works
Bye.
every time.